Welcome to The Grant, the EU funding podcast. The Grant. My name is Niels Winter, and I'm the creator, editor, and host of The Grant. The Grant is an independent podcast initiative with the ambition to dig into all corners of the EU R&D funding system on topics of interest for the full EU R&D funding community. Back in May, I went to Hamburg to record a documentary-style podcast episode for the Win for SMEs project. That became a wonderful podcast episode that was released a month ago. The episode was a combination of field recordings, vox pop, short update conversations, and then some content conversations. These content conversations are quite strong, and to make sure that you all get that content, I have now developed this episode zooming in on these COVID pilots from Lithuania and Hungary. I don't normally do reruns, but in this case I felt I needed to make sure you all listen to this. The first half of this episode is a conversation with Tamas Rettich, who is Chief Advisor at Hungarian Association of Craftsmen Corporations. They support entrepreneurship, and in their pilot activities they have initiated an entrepreneurship camp that helps highly talented young people move from innovation ideas to real business thinking. In the second part of the episode, I have a very nice talk with Managing Director of the Lithuanian Association of Hotels and Restaurants, Untitled, about their work with getting young professionals with disabilities into the hotels and restaurant sector. And it is indeed such a nice story of changing people's lives and at the same time helping companies with a workforce they didn't know they needed. Please enjoy. Grand. Now with me here, I have Tamas Rettich from EPOS. It's the Hungarian Association of Craftsmen Corporations. Welcome, Tamas.
Nice to be with you, Niels.
I'm so happy that you accepted this invitation from me and Anna to do this. Now, it's of course a good chance for you to explain what you do, right? Can you just 2 words about yourself and the organization you work for before we?
Yeah, I am a project manager since more than 20 years for EPOS, which is the largest SME organization in Hungary, representing micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises.
Can you explain us what is it that you're doing in the pilot?
Oh, we did a lot, and now I would like to say a few words about a pilot project, a very successful pilot project. It's a 1 week camp, entrepreneur camp.
Mm-hmm. But just to frame for the listeners here, you are in the entrepreneurship corner. In this pilot, you are dealing with entrepreneurs and startups and facilitating and helping that through the work that you do.
Exactly. And of course, we cooperate with other Hungarian co-partners in this project, everywhere where we can find places for the good cooperation. And luckily, the Deák Ferenc Secondary Grammar School is an excellent partner, and they have an excellent program how to teach students in a virtual company and or initiative. This entrepreneurial camp is based on this learning in a virtual company system.
Yeah. So what do they do? So can you give us the introduction to what have you put together there in your corner? So you put together this entrepreneur camp, and so what do the participants do in that? What is it? How is it set up?
Yeah. It was a 1 week very intensive program in Győr. It's a city in Hungary where some of Hungary's most talented innovators learned how to turn their brilliant ideas into real business. about the history of this camp. The participants, the young talents, they are students who submitted outstanding projects to the Hungarian Science and Innovation Olympics, known as OTO in Hungary. In 2025, nearly 300 young people entered this competition with innovative solutions, which are solutions to real economic and social challenges. And from these almost 300 applicants, 12 young talents with the strongest business potential were invited to our camp.
So that's top of the top distilled talent, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. And the program was organized through the cooperation of the Hungarian Innovation Association, the Deák Ferenc Secondary School of Economics in Győr, and IPOS.
Yeah. Oh, so what skills are you helping them with? So what are you developing for them together with them?
Yeah. This week it was a very active and practical program. Every day we combined entrepreneurship training, teamwork, company visits, and real business experiences. The participants could learn the basic of business planning, financing, marketing, innovation management, and leadership. They also worked in a virtual company program where they simulate launching and operating a business. At the same time, they could meet successful entrepreneurs, university experts, local companies, and startup mentors. They visited places like Széchenyi István University in Győr, and even the Audi factory in Győr, to see innovation and industrial development in practice.
Yeah, where it's the top level companies.
Yeah. But perhaps the most important part is that they didn't simply sit and listen to lecturers in a classroom. They constantly work together in teams, solving problems and developing ideas under the guidance of a professional coach. How to work, how to be active as a team.
Very nice. Is there one concrete example or success story, anything you want to share from this work that you've been doing in the project with this?
There is a lot. Just one example. One very impressive project came from a student named Daniel, who developed a flexible sensor system for predictive maintenance in industrial production lines. And his device measures motor vibrations and can detect when machinery is beginning to deteriorate before a serious breakdown happens.
Yeah.
This could help factories to reduce downtime and save significant costs. It's an example. We had 12 different examples, and we helped them how to start a business using this.
Incubating it.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You are right.
And I also know, because I wrote my master thesis on Hungarian innovation policy. And I know that Hungary has a strong tradition for making incubator areas.
Yeah. Thank you. I think
this
we
is.
are quite
I think
famous.
maybe also this is why you have chosen this part in this project, because there's a lot of knowledge in Hungary around how to have these facilitating areas where you had a lot help startups.
Yes.
Well, Tamas, time's out. Thanks.
Can I say something more?
Of course you can.
Okay. I believe. I think it's important things. I believe the biggest takeaway is the learning the power of collaboration. Many of these young talents are used to working alone because they are highly creative, and independent thinkers. During the camp, however, they had to solve many tasks in team. With the support of the coaches, they experienced how much more effective problem solving becomes when people combine their different strengths and organize responsibilities well. For many participants, I think this was the first time they truly understood that innovation is not only about having a great idea, it is also about communication, teamwork, leadership, and trust.
Super.
Thank
That's
you.
a wonderful note to end on.
Yeah.
So I have lots of people coming through, and I have wonderful long conversation, hour-long conversation about these things. So it's also a chance for me to squeeze it into this short format. But I'm so happy that we have it as a content corner here in this episode, because it's just a wonderful pilot. Thanks for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
Together with me now, I have Egle from Lithuania. You're from the Lithuanian Hotel Association. But without anything, before we frame anything here, can you shortly present yourself to the listeners?
My name is Egle, and I represent one of Lithuanian COVE partners, Lithuanian Hotel and Restaurant Association. And actually, we represent businesses, hotels, restaurants, and we as a partner within Lithuanian COVE, we do a lot. We work with the businesses, with hotels and restaurants, and try to encourage them to work with young people with various disabilities.
Yes, and it's such a nice story. It's such a nice thing, and I have been looking very much forward to having this conversation, to share this with the listeners, because it's just a wonderful example of what EU projects they can do. It's things that would not fly or would not be funded locally or national, regional. It's very nice. So we will dig into that, and this is about getting young people, youngsters out there with disabilities, get them out there, get them into the working and labor market, and into the life that us without disabilities we all try to do. It's to remove the barriers. Now, can you give us a little bit of insights into what it is that you've been doing?
Actually, nowadays, I think the economies and including our sector, hospitality sector, they're facing really these the problems of lack of employees, lack of motivated employees, and that's everywhere in Europe, including Lithuania. So what is the aim? Within our cover is to work with the special youngsters, with the special persons who are very often very motivated. They able to work, and they some of them, they really have the hidden talents, and with this coordination and cooperation with COVID partners help them to really find their pathway in life and in their work career.
Yeah. Can you? So, which are the partners in the Lithuanian pilot or COVE, as it called?
Yeah, we have 3 partners within our COVE. The main partner is a vocational school.
Yeah, so that's the school side, education side.
Vocational school and university. And
higher education side, So you have 2 legs there, and then the third leg on the
building sort of a triangle of a partnership. Exactly. and work together. But also there are sort of non-official partners, employers who really get involved very actively by giving the opportunity for young people to do their internship, and already giving them opportunity to start their career.
Yeah, and you know what? It's you. So you represent the private businesses here, the private corporate, the SMEs, and those are the ones that are tricky in EU, or can be EU projects, and getting that into sort of an EU implementation project context. That is sometimes an issue, and that's it's always nice to see when associations take that, umbrella associations like yours, take that torch to get them involved, because you know how to facilitate this, right? You take all the all the you need to deal with bureaucracy, whatever, in a project. Yeah, so you take that, and then you sort of translate all this to the companies, and they get the good parts of it. So say they get new possibilities for employees and so on. They don't have to worry about all EU project related issues.
Yeah, but exactly. Businesses they really probably they don't need and they do not care about
Exactly.
those what we are doing in the project, what tasks we
They would die.
have to achieve, how many paper and reports we have to write down. But yes, their role is very important. I think one of the important in this project to get the companies involved. And from the very beginning, we got this strategy to get their life to get them on board. Actually, to invite them. To see the premises of the school where the young people they study, and to see what's going on with their own eyes. And really, we got several companies already on board. They're quite motivated, and they see that they are supported as well. Because not only those who study, but the companies, their lack of information how to deal with the people with disabilities, how to integrate them, how to create this inclusive team, which is very important, and also. At the very end, we support them with the information. What are the governmental incentives and financial subsidies, which is very important, to be honest, as well, that they can use, they can access if they employ people with disabilities. And actually, it works very well. We see the more and more companies they're getting interest. Yeah, I also forgot to mention that we also organize for them the special workshop how to integrate people with disabilities, and especially people with mental disabilities. I think it's sort of an untouched topic yet.
Let's stick to that.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's zoom a little bit in on that. So what is it that because of course there's something you need to focus on if you need to facilitate something here, right? It's exactly this.
Yeah.
So can you share a little bit about how this program, how you have built it up to remove this both practical but mostly of all mental barrier between the human being, because it's psychology, right? It's between humans. Can we hire you? Can we not? And then they see a disabled. Oh, we don't know. How have you set this program up?
I think still, the most important challenge and what we faced in a project and in general in a society, there's sort of a stigmas and some fears, uncertainties, how to deal with such a persons. So that was our aim to break a bit these uncertainties and guide them through. Guide them through this unknown.
Yeah, because it's a matter of them. How do we handle this? We're just a hotel here. We try to run a business. Yes, we would like more. We always need
but
people, and the Belarusians are not coming in. Whatever, you know. So yes, but I cannot use someone where I have to pay special attention because the person cannot is blind. Whatever, you know, because I guess that's what you get. From the starting point. But yes, I need people, but I don't need extra work because I get So tell me, how have you sort of concretely? You know, how have you? Are they meeting each other in a process? How is it?
Actually, there was several face-to-face meetings. First of all, as I mentioned, we invited. Representatives of the companies, of hospitality companies, hotel, restaurants, to the school. Just have them the overall, view. What are these people about? What they learn, what skills, they train. After, there is always someone sort of a mentor from the school. Who is leading? Who is always next to the students? And actually, companies they identified what are their needs at the moment. So what skills or what kind of employees they require, and on the other end, the school they selected the persons the most suitable for this specific position or workplace. Or sometimes I know even that the special position or workplace was created for this specific person. That's very innovative.
That's nice.
That's very nice.
That's also workplace innovation, right?
Yeah.
It has an element of this because this is also what you're doing in this project. You're trying to take this.
Yes.
It's a mutual beneficial relationship. It's not just the working place that are there for the employees to get a job and pay the salaries. It goes both ways. So this is actually a nice example of something that it's not just a theoretical concept, but something that organically has grown out from the companies themselves from probably their own point of view, saying, if we make a system out of this, if we sort of conceptualize, if we sort of make a system for ourselves how to work with this, we can probably solve a human resource issue that we are facing or will face much more in the future.
Yeah, but not completely, but
No.
I really see that we already have a result after, the placement. It was not exactly, they didn't employ, those young people. It was their internship, placement. And then once, those young people, they really, they sort of adapted and they started to feel confident. They sort of, they turned into the real team member of this hotel or restaurant. And at the end of a placement, so we see that the companies, they offer them the job, probably part-time job, 20% job. But what feedback we received that in some of the situations, these people with disabilities, they are more loyal, they're more stable, and they're more reliable for the companies. So with this a little bit of help and time dedicated to them, the companies can really grow very loyal staff. And on the other hand, to actually to really to train the existing staff into the sort of more tolerative, the team members.
So it's not, the fact is that these kind of initiatives, it's not just about getting, and I want to move into here because we're moving towards the end, but I do want to move into a little bit the human side here, because one thing is that it creates it opens the pool of workforce for companies. That's fine, but what it does on a human level, it's maybe more worth than what it does to the economy, right? Because this is something that, one thing is what it opens up for the disabled persons. It's the what it opens up of personal, how they perceive themselves and the value that they have in their communities and the world they live in, but also from the perception from the disabled, right? Come from the Soviet, you're part of the Soviet Union. I've been studying a lot of what happened there, and I know that there was a huge stigma around disabled in that system. And of course that goes into people's brains when a system sits long enough, and it's not people's fault, it's a system fault from a horrible system. But I'm so happy to see that you, in your corner of the old East Bloc, that you are handling this, and that you have companies that actively, because it's not just companies, it's managers that takes these decisions. They are persons of flesh and blood that sees that this is something that is important.
Yeah, I think you're completely right, and what we also discovered that nowadays we're talking about these innovations, the technology. That's mostly we think about the technological innovation. There's AI, there's digital innovations. But I think what matters not less, even more, that it's about these human innovation. And I think this project even for SME is about exactly about this kind of innovation.
It's got a very good the full project with all the pilots. It has a very sympathetic tone. I like a lot the approach, definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
Is there anything more you want to add? Do you want to? Is there anything? Are there any sort of personal stories from the young nice people you helped? Is there anything?
We made a nice video and shared today. During the partner the meeting conference. But there are a couple of them, but there are many more. So after 2 years, we already have 30 success stories, and there are more, we hope there are more to come.
Yeah. And what are they? The disabilities is both mental and physical. Yeah.
Yes, we're talking about the mental disabilities. So that's why I mentioned that they are. It's not that much, not that much information about how to integrate such a people. Nobody talks about, whether do they exist?
Mm-hmm.
Because nowadays these mental or intellectual disabilities they occur in many ways.
It's not, it's there the physical handicap have a sort of an advantage because we can all see that as a blind man, or there's one missing a leg, or there's a spastic guy, that's very visible. Yeah? But it's the mental that's rough. They have it rough.
Yeah, that's very good that we as a society really have being taught more and more about such disabilities and how to deal with such a people, and really what matters in this project, that we realized that with they are just sometimes maybe different from us, but some of them they have really very, very nice talents.
Of course they do. The brains are not. Listen, it's and because you're working with this, but it's the brain is a wonderful thing, yeah. And they just because there's a couple of centers there, that are not like you and me, it doesn't mean that they're not intelligent.
Yeah.
And it might even add something it might give some out-of-the-box angles on a workplace challenge. There's that's nobody else would have come up with that idea. Yeah.
So, I mean, they're simply sometimes genius, and then we know the real examples from the history. Like A Beautiful Mind. The movie. So they're just genius, and
so some of the history's most strongest artists, they had a mental issue. No, it can be a long conversation if we go down that path. Thank you so much. It's been
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Grant.
You had the time.
All the Grant episodes have their own site on the Grant website. You will find the link to the episode site where you listen to your podcast.
So that was nice.
On the site for this episode, you will find links to Tamas and Ekla's LinkedIn sites and a link to the Win for SMEs website. You will also find a link to the rest of the episodes in this Win for SME series, where you will also find the documentary-style recording from last month. Next week, there is a very nice exchange on impact coming up. You can, indeed, look forward to that.